Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, regardless of where you are. It's always a great time to talk about the gospel, especially enlightened by Spiritism. So today we're going to be discussing chapter 29 of the book Our Daily Bread, and it is titled The Vineyard. It is based on Matthew chapter 20, verses 1 through 5. Before we begin, we'd like to thank Kardec Radio for the opportunity for us to be here and to have conversations just like this one. Kardec Radio is in several platforms, including the platform formerly known as Twitter, the X platform. So before we begin, let's close our eyes in prayer and ask the Lord for inspiration, for strength, for His blessings, and especially in the moments of difficulties, because even though those are the hard times, those are the moments where we truly have an opportunity to shine. May God's love be with us always. So be it. So again, today's conversation is based on Daily Bread, chapter 29. The chapter is called The Vineyard, and it's based on Matthew chapter 20 and verses 1 through 5. I'm going to read the parable, a part of the parable actually, because it is a very interesting parable. There's so many conversations we can have. It's a parable of the workers in the vineyard. And it starts like this. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay them a denarius for the day and sent them into the vineyard. So again, the landowner was looking for workers to do work in his land. And he hired some workers and paid a particular predetermined, agreed upon salary for that work. About 9 in the morning, he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, "You also go and work in my vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right." So they went. So this is quite interesting for us to meditate, because a lot of times we have this impression that the world is going mad, the world is chaotic. And even as spiritists, sometimes we forget that everything is under God's control, and especially the planet Earth. Jesus is the governor of the planet. He is in charge of this beautiful rock, I should say, this rock that is in the universe. So we cannot conceive it as just and the interesting thing about Earth is that it's such a beautiful planet, and it has so many opportunities for us. So just look around, all the nature that surrounds us, and so many people, right? There's I'm no longer counting. I don't know if there are 8.6, 8.7, 8.8 billion of us by now. So, but there's a lot of individuals, a lot of reincarnated spirits here. So we do have a chance to do a lot of good. We do have a chance to learn a lot from one another and to progress together. So it is always so it is not something without government. So Emmanuel does indicate here emphatically that the planet is not a floating ship without government. So again, and sometimes we have the impression, sometimes we are under the impression that things are happening on Earth and it's like random acts, but that's not the case. That's not the case. There is an order. It's just that in our limited perceptions, it's so hard for us to understand what could be going on, or even what the master plan might be. So, and Emmanuel indicates to us here that the collective humanity is accustomed to fall into disarray, but the laws that preside over the terrestrial home are expressed in complete harmony. So very true, very true. So we have this idea, right, as we see the world, and as we have our struggles, our different opinions, and sometimes it's so frustrating for us to be reincarnated here in a planet just like ours, which is still on the second level of the scale. So, but the most important two most important things are, again, there is a master plan for our planet, and Jesus is the governor for that. And with that, there are so many opportunities as well. So, and last, last week, very, very, very recently, we experienced Hurricane Helene, and a lot of times when we go, we see natural disasters such as that one. We are under the impression that, again, why, if Jesus is the governor, why is Jesus allowing such catastrophic events to happen? But again, even a hurricane, a category 4 hurricane, just like Helene, when it hits us, there is a master plan. There is a reason for that. And again, that should not deviate our sights, again, from all the beauty, from all the harmony. That if everything in our planet revolves around harmony, even something that seems to be catastrophic has a reason as well. So the most important thing to take from here also is how it applies to us, right? So if you look at the universe, everything is working, all the cogs are working perfect harmony. It also applies to our lives as well. So even the difficult times that we go through, they do have a meaning, they do have an importance. And again, even when we're going through that, we should not forget that Jesus is the governor of the planet. And Jesus has been with us since the formation of the earth, according to Emmanuel himself. So since the dawn of the planet, Jesus has been coordinating how things go. And the most important thing is that if we observe the progress of humankind, even though we look at humankind nowadays and we are so far away from perfection, but we've truly come a long ways. And Emmanuel indicates here that we see Jesus, working from the dawn of the centuries, and we witness the transformation of human beings from one experience to other, integrate into his divine love. So we see here that it takes centuries and millennia for human beings to evolve. And therefore we should apply it to ourselves. We should understand that even though we see we do not still understand the order of things, and things apparently do not go right for us, it's going to take centuries, millennia, for us to reach a level of perfection. So, but we're getting there. And also the same way that we have to be patient with ourselves, we have to be patient with others, because again, they're all in their journey. They're also in their path to progress. So again, it is beautiful for us to see that we're not alone, that there is our governor, there is our big brother that is helping us. And that's why the parable of the laborers, that's the beauty of the parable of the laborers of the vineyard, is that this is one of the concepts that we can take from it, but there are some other concepts that we can extract from it as well. But one very important point are the obligations of the laborers. The laborers do have a commitment to work in a vineyard. They do have a commitment to contribute. So that applies to us as well, regardless again of our social status, regardless of where we live on planet Earth, because again, everything is illusory. Our race, our ethnicity, our social position, our financial situation, our cultural settings. So everything is transitory, because those are whatever is being assigned to us. It was what was the best for our reincarnation. It was what is necessary for us. And a lot of times we get lost in that. A lot of times we spend so much time with friends and families, and nowadays with all the ideological divides that we see, we might, if you're not careful, we might spend so much time, wasted time, in arguments about transitory things. It doesn't matter what political party uh, wins an election this year. The most important thing is how my actions are. What is it that I'm going to do? So, again, regardless of my situation, I have a mission on earth. Now, our missions, according to the Spirit's book, they are assigned to us based on our level of development. So, higher order spirits, are assigned missions that are a lot more impactful to the world. Now, lower order spirits, such as myself, we are assigned missions with a smaller impact. However, it doesn't mean that those are not important missions. Those are very important missions because that's our chance to contribute to make the earth a little bit better, to make a positive impact for the common good. So a lot of times, again, we get lost in political points of view and social differences and our hierarchical position on earth here, and sometimes we're all trying to climb the ladder, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And but the most important thing at the end of the day is what is it that we're going to be doing with those opportunities? How we're going to be using those to help Jesus in his amazing mission. So again, so we all have this a chance to do a more elevated pattern of life. I have a chance to do a betterment in our lives. So that's where we stand in Jesus' vineyard. So again, you always, wherever you are, you're actually in Jesus' vineyard. This is Jesus' chance that you have to work, to contribute for yourself, to contribute for others as well. So Emmanuel indicates here that if you're besieged in difficulties and misfortune, which is interesting that he's asking, saying, are you besieged in difficulties and misfortune? And the true answer is everybody is besieged in difficulties and misfortune. Again, doesn't matter here on earth, of course, doesn't matter on your social status, doesn't matter or your financial situation, who you are, or whatever race you're associated with, or your ethnicity, and so on, so many other classifications that we ourselves we impose as humans. So regardless of those, everybody goes through hard times. However, and Emmanuel reminds us here that, unquote, work for the common good, even so, because the Father entrusted each cooperator with just and convenient material. So again, regardless of where you are, regardless of what situation we are, so we've been trusted with this opportunity to do something good, and we have the tools for that. Jesus did mention very clearly that his burden was light. So again, we have what we need. So, but it's only up to us. It is truly up to us to take the proper steps to make the best use of those opportunities. And it's quite interesting that, again, using the same analogy of the vineyard, the same way that if you were to work in a vineyard and they were assigned a particular task, you're going to have a particular tract of land or a particular bit of land where you're going to be working. So, but in the end of the day, it's going to be up to each laborer to do his or her best to do an excellent work or not, right? Or to be an honest worker or not be an honest worker. And again, of course, we should strive for the common good, like Emmanuel reminds us here, to be good contributors in the vineyard. That's the most important thing. And again, if each individual worker is doing his or her best, then everybody's contributing to the improvement of the vineyard as a whole. So using the same analogy, if each one of us is doing our best to make the earth a better place, then we are going to be contributing. There's no other way. Earth's going to be going the right direction. And again, we cannot change the world, but like Gandhi once taught us, be the change you want to see in the world. So again, the betterment of the planet starts with me. So every time I work hard, I contribute, I do my part, I do my share to make the world a better place. Even if the work is internal, even if the work is myself, I am contributing to Jesus's vineyard. I'm contributing to Jesus's masterpiece, which is the planet Earth. And again, planet Earth is not just to us. I mean, like Carl Sagan once mentioned, it's a speck of dust, a speck of dust in the universe. That is true. It's very small, but it's still, this is our home. This is our place where we've been given opportunities to work, to better ourselves, to learn a lot, and to help others as well. We always have a chance to do good in the master plan of Jesus. I hope you liked our conversation for today. Don't forget to click the little like button. And also, especially, don't forget to click on the little subscribe button so you get notifications of programs and conversations just like this one. And again, Kardec Radio is in several platforms, several social media platforms, including the X platform, formerly known as Twitter, where you have a chance to ask questions and submit comments. And Kardec Radio has their own app as well, where you can enjoy podcast programs as well. At this time, let's take this opportunity to close our eyes and connect with our spiritual benefactors. And thank Jesus for all the opportunities that have been given to us, all the knowledge that life has been presenting to us through different experiences. It is always so important for us to understand that no matter where we are, there's always a positive impact that we can do on the lives of others, on our lives as well. Let's ask Jesus and the spiritual friends to inspire us in the moments of difficulties, to inspire us in those times when we feel that we are alone, but we're never alone, because there is a great manager for this whole planet here, and that's Jesus, and he's got our backs. May God bless us, bless our families, bless our friends, our relatives, and even bless those who consider themselves our enemies. May God love and may God's light be in our lives. So be it.